Tara Jacobson, Marketing Artfully. So today I want to talk about some of the new things that are in the Marmalead now that they have changed it over. So some things I want to talk about that I think are very, very good is now they have a keyword engagement bar that functionally shows how much engagement a specific keyword has. And the reason this is so good is that before I would watch a lot of sellers obsess about getting an A or getting an A minus, and they would be getting an A or an A minus based on keywords, but not necessarily keywords that would actually cause them to show up in the views. And that's super frustrating. I'm sure a lot of the sellers, when they saw that their engagement or that their keywords had dropped, a lot of that is because they had picked keywords that they liked. They had tried to work on engagement, but they had really focused on getting an A rather than getting keywords that would have a lot of views. Okay, so this is one of mine. This is a really cute little flower basket doorstop, and I looked it up and I got a C plus, which it doesn't like my keyword engagement, which I sort of get. Tags and title, 5 of 13. I renewed it. I listed it 5 days ago. So I have 8 out of 10 photos. I could probably work out 2 more, but that's fine. 159 words, it's pretty good. It would like a few more sentences. It doesn't have a ton of sentences. My grade level is low. My sentiment's super positive. And here we can see where there's some problems with the Marmy meters, like vintage and retro. That what they're saying is that exact keyword, vintage retro, is not a good keyword. It does have a good title strength, but it doesn't have good neither is happening. Neither buyers are liking it, nor are views liking it. It really doesn't like, this was funny, antique door stop or antique door space stop. But I have found this before as a vintage seller. I have found that vintage, the word vintage, is searched highly. People look for it, and they're not necessarily looking for antique. So I really wanted to know that, because I think this is on the edge of being an antique anyways. If you're using 100 years, it's not an antique for sure. But it could be in there in the like 30s, 40s. Anyway, so that's not good. I love farmhouse chic, but it doesn't seem to be really doing much for me. Cottage chic's doing a little bit better. Flower doorstop, it hates. Blue ribbon ribbons, it hates. Those are my tags. I don't really know that somebody would be searching for blue ribbon ribbons, so, or blue ribbon even for like a doorstop, unless they had seen one like mine and found it. So what did I do? I went and searched for Hubley doorstop, because that's the kind it is, right? And I found something super funny. Mine is an outlier. What an outlier is an item that has been flagged as either having too many views early or too many favorites, or something has happened. And if you look at this, mine that is only a few days old has 7.7 favorites and 13 views for the week. And what this is functionally saying is that I posted it on social media, and because I have a big social media presence, I got a lot of views that I shouldn't have gotten. So my bad SEO would have hurt everybody else. They'd have been like, oh my gosh, this is causing a lot of really good views, but it wasn't. It was just because I have good social media. And then this one is being flagged too. She has a lot of views. She doesn't have a lot of favorites. So, oh my gosh. And some of these are really like, Hubley is a really good, in fact, looking at these, I am going to have to be maybe raising the price on my Hubley dog, because I have one of those too. So that was really helpful. So next I headed on over to the storm, because obviously my when you do those searches, what's happening in Marmalead is they're taking an aggregation of the people like me, sellers who might not necessarily know what they're doing, and showing me what other keywords they're using. But if you use the storm, you can get a really good view all at once of keywords that would be helpful. So I did just doorstop because Hubly they didn't like. It's a maker of a kind of doorstop. So I did doorstop. So first off, I found cat doorstop, which I have one in my garage I need to list, which has very low competition and moderate engagement. So I'm going to have to get that puppy up here soon. Door decor doesn't really match, so I would just delete that. Draft stopper, easy for me to say. Not what mine is. Mine's not a door hanger, not a door knocker, not door photography, not a wreath. The reason why this looks so bad is I've already moved the ones over that are really relevant. So door stops seems to be like it has very high engagement and very moderate competition. So that is a super sneaky term that I can use that people are looking for but isn't really there. Farmhouse decor has very high competition because a lot of us use it, but it also has very high engagement, which is excellent. Home decor, I feel like home decor is way too generic, and if I take that out of there, I did include rustic and I did include kitchen broken up a little bit because I feel like that was a little bit too far out there for me. As a vintage seller, our stuff is not going to be as popular as, say, a woven beanie hat that your ponytail sticks out of, because everybody in America isn't looking for an amazing chippy paint old doorstop, but I can go and find all the other ones that give me the best bet. And so I redid my listing, and I want to show you. My tags are used now. 13 of 13. I was there before. Tags and title. I got one more in, which is good. Still same renewal, and my keyword engagement went up 8. So I was able to find some other keywords that were much more relevant and able to get me a lot better. The marming meters were better. So what I ultimately wound up with was flower basket. That is my best title. It's not really good. Basket doorstop is there. It's not but rustic doorstop, excellent. It has low competition, medium engagement. Decorative doorstop, that is, I mean, it's always going to be a problem. There's a lot of there tend to be doorstops, but I tend to get a lot of views on my doorstops because I have a lot of them. Kitchen, remember I was going to try to get that kitchen word in there. I wasn't just going to do kitchen decor or primitive kitchen. It's not really relevant. My doorstop isn't just for kitchen. In fact, I feel it would be much better in my world if it was in a beautiful little feminine office, but that was notwithstanding. Cast iron Hubly, these are terrible words any which way, so I just put them all together in one tag. Large doorstop, really good. That's a good one. Victorian decor, it's high competition, low searches. Farmhouse decor, I wanted to get that one in there. Vintage doorstop, that's a good one. Cottage chic, I don't care if anybody else likes that keyword. I put it in. I could have probably changed that one. Look, it's got over 50,000 results, so that's really killing me on that one. Flower doorstop, vintage door stopper, because I wanted to get that stopper in. And then don't forget I needed that door stops because that was a really highly relevant one that was actually really good. So if you are a vintage seller, you may never be able to get straight A's on your rankings because this isn't the kind of item that everybody around the world is looking for. But I certainly improved my rankings, number one, and number two, I know I only went from a C plus to a B minus, but I really do feel like that was a huge leap as far as somebody who is the right buyer for my item seeing it. So hopefully that helped. I know there's a lot of questions, but I have found that the new Marmalead is amazing, and it really actually helped me feel like not only was I getting keywords that I could use, but also that I could finesse my keywords in the vintage arena to things that would actually help me sell my items faster. And so my very last thing, I know I said that before, my very last thing is that if you can start to try to source in niches, like I always source door stops, I always source, I sell a lot of silver plate, I always source vintage old pins and things like that. The more things that you can source that are like the others, the more that you can use your research from these keywords in more than one place rather than being all willy-nilly and always having to start from ground zero. So hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobson, Marketing Artfully.